Hello everyone, and welcome back to Adjacent with Jace, the tabletop interview review show for the Adventures of Athoria, brought to you by the Black House Horse. I am your host, Jace, and with me today, so he's a dungeon master, but I'll tell you what he's after, a backstory of glory that he helps with as a crafter, telling you not to worry. If you don't, you'll be sorry. Please take heed if you don't read. That goes for you, Ari. He'll unravel a tale with a strange words without fail, forgetting spelling is foretelling if it's the place where you hail. With a history of hysterics with nothing as generic, he turns up the weird that we all cheered. Now make way for Eric.
I don't know. Your thing seems to suggest that I don't make mistakes, and I absolutely do.
Not you. Good old DM. Never making mistakes.
Yeah. That's because I am God.
You just make mistakes, we just don't bother with them. We will hound your ass if you make a combat mistake, though.
Oh, yeah. No, like, I get to hear about, like, every group has that rules lawyer. Jace is the rules lawyer.
I do it to hurt us, though. So as long as you're a balanced rules lawyer, I think it's really important. Well, anyway, welcome, everybody. Hello, Eric. We skipped last week because I fell asleep and woke up at like 7:28. I'm like, well, I don't have anything prepared yet, so no.
Well, funny. That kind of sounds like me on Tuesday nights sometimes.
Whoops, I hope
No, one time I was getting ready to jump on and I realized, oh my god, I didn't prep anything for the session. I was like, oh, wait, that's because I did a shit ton of prep the previous week and you guys didn't get to almost any of it.
What?
So I was like,
leave it.
Yeah, or I was like, okay, so I'm still got plenty of stuff prepped. It's just weird, life.
Yeah. Well, we're back again, Eric. It's always fun when you're here because now we got to make fun of you, and you can't.
That is true.
Yourself.
I get lots of shade in chat.
Yeah. Got a lot of questions that I've already built up because it's been a year, and you've not only have been a year, but it's been several weeks since you've been on, and then you killed somebody, and the police got involved, and then you killed a player character, which didn't help your story, but.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll be used against me in my trial.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure it's a pattern at this point.
Bloodthirsty, they say. Well, unless you have something you wanted to announce or anything, we can jump right into it. We got some questions coming in, and we got a small game, like a list I told you about beforehand that we can go over and cause some
as far as announcements, I announce my intention to kill all of your player characters.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's really kind of funny though because Dustin, who everyone knows plays Kalen, he DM'd me and was like, "Hey, now that we've lost 2 people, do we have any more connections to BBEGs?" And I was like, "Yes." It's like, you should know better. I have BBEGs connected with every single character. It just depends on what makes sense to come in for the story. And now you guys have a maybe BBEG, an MBBEG in that necromancer bitch that you guys let slip away.
Yeah, let her slip away. She escaped.
Oh, you guys failed hard on killing her.
She's a coward, and we'll fight her again.
I'm pretty sure that was Izal's fault.
Well, let me roll higher. Me and rolling for attacks has never worked in my entire lifespan. So, you gotta find ways to fudge the numbers by giving yourself advantage and bless and magical weapons, and sometimes those don't work either. So, this is my life.
Yeah.
Let's dive into some questions we got here. They're just all coming in here so quickly. Question for both. In honor, this is from Rab, obviously, because of the topic. In honor of the NBA draft tonight, which the Mavs do not have a pick in the first round, if you were going back to pick one character for this story, is that what I'm saying? If you were going to pick one character for this story, as a player or an NPC to play out the full campaign, who would you choose and why? And I was told I'm not allowed to pick Izal. So.
Okay, well, first off, NBA, I assume that's sports related.
Yes.
I'm joking. Yeah, sports ball. NBA, that's the one that's the large orange ball, right?
It's the orange
one that goes
ball,
in the hoop.
Yeah,
okay.
Eric knows sports based off the color of the ball they play with.
Then the shape. I mean, yeah, but no, I don't know.
It's the orange one,
That's
the white one, the black one, the white one with black dots on it, and then you got the brown one.
The white one. You're talking about a soccer ball,
yes.
Or I guess a football for those people who are in the rest of the world.
Yes, it's the rest of the world that is wrong.
Yeah. So.
You could pick one, or I could pick one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't want to pick a player character, but maybe an NPC, and that's one that I would want to play in this campaign.
Yes, to play a campaign.
Does it have to be from this campaign, or can it be from any campaign? And I'm assuming I can only pick ones that have shown up in the campaign, none that I have hidden that you guys haven't met yet.
The notes say it has to be this one.
Okay. All right, and I'm going to state that it has to be someone that we've met.
It's someone that is off screen that we completely missed and we'll never meet now.
Yeah. I'll even go so far as to say it has to be someone I'm given a name to.
Ooh.
So that'll. You would think that really limits the pool, but I was going through the other day and writing a list of NPCs in OneNote so that way I could quickly search them. And I only got through House Select transcribing my notes, and there was like 30 something NPCs, and I was like, oh god. It was like, and I don't even have a Kelder who asks everyone's backstory.
I ask one out of every 10.
So, okay, an NPC. I think Sean Dunn would be fun, the Haringen.
Sean Dunn.
Yeah, he'd be a lot of fun to play. Yeah, I think. I mean, of course, I wouldn't mind playing Elden Boss, but he's got a lot of custom stuff going on, so I wouldn't really say he'd count. But yeah, I think that would probably be my choice. I just think that he would be a lot of fun to play.
I'm not allowed to pick these all, so I'm going to pick Jobidus Orbisana, who was recently named to the campaign for this campaign.
Oh, that's a damn. Oh, that's a really good choice, because I kept thinking about that last campaign. I was like, man, Jobidus Orbisana is like definitely one of those characters that I would love to play.
Like, I got one. He was just brought up in the campaign.
Fair enough. He's not okay. I'll say that counts.
Rav's like, who's that? Jobidus Orbisana is the archmage and leader of whatever citadel.
Yeah, he was the headmaster of the College of the Gilded Light.
He's the one who's currently, I guess, with the House Hawklight and Golden Forge.
Yeah, so like a little bit of lore dump from last campaign. He's an elf guy who runs a college for a small college for magic in Summerness, which is a
just
city
some
in Ashgar.
NPC, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, he was aligned with Nock, or Ari's character in the last campaign was involved there, and is now apparently an envoy for the Ashgaran Empire here. So I know. Oh, but that's what
he was brought up in last session.
He was brought up, but not. I agree. Like, not like he isn't really in the campaign. He's just mentioned. So
he's in the city we're in too. So, or potentially in the city, or he's somewhere around it.
I think that's kind of spurious, but
I found a loophole.
You don't tell us how to run this show.
I don't tell me how to run this show.
They give the answer.
Let's skip all of Rab's questions then and go on to.
Yeah, I don't know what answer he wants me to give.
He wants Perrot. Perot.
Oh, yeah, Perrot.
Or it would have been Theofric, but I went with the cheap answer. Question for Eric. It's been a year. Tell us one thing you thought would happen that did, and then something you thought that would happen that didn't.
Wait, did you just ask me the same thing? Or
something that you thought would happen that did happen.
Okay.
Something that you thought would happen that didn't.
Okay, so something that I thought would happen.
Two things you thought would happen. One that happened, one that didn't.
Yes, one that happened. Jobidus Orbisana is actually in the campaign.
Yay.
That might have not happened. And one that I thought would have happened, I'm going to say would have happened by now, but hasn't, because, I mean, of course, these things could still happen. I would have thought by now you guys would have had some run-ins or stuff with Charles Grimvane, the pirate, who's running around.
We forgot about him. He was one of the mentions in the quest.
Yeah, and so, of course, as you guys spend more time at sea, you have a greater chance of that happening, especially in the area that you guys are in. So maybe it'll come up, maybe it'll become a thing, but I don't know, man. We're sitting here at this risk where you guys are kind of getting to the level where you guys are going to finish this campaign and not having done anything of actual consequence.
Yeah.
You guys will just be
Dudes.
regular adventurers, nothing worth writing any kind of myth or legends about.
The C Team. Here we go. Recently promoted to C Team.
No, you guys are like those freaking anime characters who are just like off in the mountains killing slimes for a few hundred years, and then all of a sudden like, oh hey, we're level 20, and it's like, how the hell did you guys pull that off? And it's like, oh well.
Hey,
don't
don't knock
know.
that. That's one of my favorite type of isekai in game-based anime is when they just get really powerful and then they can just relax and not do anything.
Yeah, I don't have a Crunchyroll subscription, so most of my anime is limited to Hulu and Netflix.
The Black Tower doesn't discriminate on whose story is recorded. That's right.
That's true. That's true. Everyone's story is in the Black Tower.
It's just really
But-
boring sometimes.
But that does mean that we're basically like wading through like, I don't know, like the first book of Twilight or something. And it's
Without
just
the
like
vampires. Take Twilight and take out
yeah,
the
you take the vampires
That's what
and
we're doing.
werewolves out of Twilight, and that's
Our
basically
characters
what
saw
we're reading through
vampire
right now.
and the wolves. They're like, you know what? Let's just be regular high school students.
And Bella
for a
is like,
while."
man, I know he's hot, but he's kind of weird and creeping on me, so I think I'm just gonna move back to Jacksonville, Florida.
I thought it was Arizona. They were. I thought she was.
No, it's Florida. I thought.
I don't know. I didn't. Pay
I don't
that
know.
Much to Twilight. My bad.
Whatever.
The Twihards? Is that what they are?
Or Twit.
Just
Twit-
twits.
twit.
Let's call them
I don't
twits. That sounds
I
more
don't
appropriate.
know. The Twilight people.
That's too long. The Twilight domains. There we go. Make fun of Twilight domains. Anyway, on to another question, because that was only for Eric. Question for both. What is the single worst decision that has been made in this campaign, and why?
Starting this campaign in the first place.
That was a group decision.
Should have done something else. No, single biggest campaign or mistake. I will give one that I think is player based, and then I'll give one for me. I think it was a mistake to give you guys as much rope as I did, because you guys are now 7 levels into this thing and have absolutely nothing to show for it.
Okay, that guy's
So-
for level 7. Level 7. You heard it
Oh,
here.
are you guys not level 7 yet?
Ooh,
It's,
hell. I don't know.
I don't know. You guys, if you guys aren't level 7 yet, you guys will get there eventually, I guess.
No,
But,
I heard, if we're not level 7, we're level 7 now. Someone check the tape. Check the character sheets on the overlay.
But I mean, like, you guys are so far into this and haven't done anything of consequence. I'm like, okay. So when you guys said you just wanted to adventure and kind of do stuff and delve ruins and stuff, you guys didn't really mean that. It's what I'm getting so far. So I'm like, I tried to give you guys what you wanted, and I'm thinking that was a mistake. That's an instance where it's like you guys are kids. You asked for the pony, but you don't really want the pony. And like a dumbass parent, I just gave you the pony without double, like thinking through that.
No. We want the pony. We just don't want to take care of it. Have to see it when we don't want to look at it, or like clean up after it, or worry about it in any way.
Or just take the response. That's what it comes down to. You wanted the pony, but you didn't want the responsibility.
Yeah, not a responsibility group here.
No, definitely not. As far as like character mistakes,
Which Gorbeck incident are you going to bring up?
you know what, Gorbeck that's kind of a little bit of like some low hanging fruit. I feel like in that one sense, like that would be a mistake, just in the sense that probably should have been addressed a little earlier on, and I love Bebo, but he really should. That was not the proper character or play style for this campaign. But I mean, you live and you learn. You just get a little frustrated because like spent 4 months harping on that and making sure everyone was on the same page, and then not on the same page. But yeah, as far as actual mistakes, I don't know that I could point to anything and say it was a mistake. Really. Because like even though Volred just recently died, it was still a really cool moment, and it's going to have some really awesome character stuff come out of it. So that's good. And for all the shit, Gorbeck did, there was some cool moments in there. Um, yeah, I think most of the fundamental or like the issues with this campaign are more foundational, and so I guess I just have to take responsibility for that as Dungeon Master.
When Gorbeck decided to float off the waterfall. I'm just gonna say
Oh
that
yeah,
was totally
okay.
the worst decision.
Yeah,
That it literally derailed that part and made a separate side story have to be played.
yes, and I will agree with that only because Bevo had told me after the fact that that was a mistake.
I messed up on that one, my man.
But that mistake did give us Indy and Kuliberg,
That's right. And then no more cooler break.
and it did lead you guys to meet Elideth and with druids and such. So like good stuff did come out of it. It's just hopefully you guys could have accomplished that without having to derail your stuff.
Yeah, you'd think that, but nah. Okay, on to another question. A question for both. Last episode, we had a spa day. Tell us your perfect spa day IRL. Would your character like it?
Eric, would I like it?
Yeah. Eric, for all of your characters.
Yeah, I'm all of the characters. Spa day. I don't know. I've never actually had a spa day. I will say I like the idea of like hot springs or something like that. And I like the idea of lots of massaging and some, little chiropractor work, get those bones kind of reset in and just kind of deep tissue massage, kind of level me out. I don't know. I'm one of those guys that, like, if I sit in hot water way too long, I get really dry skin. So I'm sure they've got some kind of something that they could throw in there, some oil or oat or rose petal or whatever it is people do when they throw in the bath stuff that like could work and just pamper myself. Maybe I'd even put like one of those little weird green face mask things on. I don't know what they do, but
You just want them. Just put a face mask on. Just walk around and not realize it.
Yeah, I mean,
my idea of a perfect spa day is the same as these alls because we share a kindred spirit in combat and relaxation when necessary. But you gotta have like natural spring hot water, like that's important. Get the natural minerals and stuff. Rav's like, I got BRB buying y'all a peel off face mask. No, we want.
Yeah, the crazy thing is depending on how drunk he is, he might actually do it.
There's too much hair on my face to do that. It's gonna hurt.
I don't know. I'd give it a shot, at least.
I'll take a lot of shots. Gotta be some drinking involved, a lot of food, super like massages. You gotta be able to feel the pain of it. It's gotta be like an overnight resort type of thing that we could sleep there and like wake up and be completely relaxed and not have to worry about anything. That's what I think. Perfect spa day would also include part of a spa night.
Okay. Yeah.
On to another question. Make a poem up on the spot. I did one in the beginning of the show, so.
No, I think that was for you.
No, it says both. It says both right there.
No, it doesn't.
Question for both. Make up a poem on the spot.
Damn. And it's Brit Mix too, so like she doesn't usually ask questions, so I guess we gotta do something.
I make up a rhyming thing every single time. So
But you have to do it on the spot though.
I'll do one better.
Now.
Better. But I will read off one I've written that I haven't used yet.
Oh no, that doesn't count. You gotta do something on the spot. I don't know. I'm like you. I generally prep this stuff out. You gotta have the inspiration flow. Now it says a poem, but she didn't say it had to rhyme.
So what is a poem? You want to do a haiku?
A haiku is a poem, or I could just come up with something.
I haven't done haikus in years.
Yeah, so that's what 5575 is typically how that goes. Like 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, something like that.
And I can't open a browser to look at. If you want us to do a haiku, you got to put in chat of what the the syllable scheme is. There's like a certain amount for it. Let's say
Oh, it's just 3. It's 575. This is 3 phrases that contain a kareji or cutting word. Oh, yeah. Gets a whole new meaning.
Eric has a hat. I think it looks dumb on him. But he is a guest. There you go. There's a haiku for you.
Okay. Alright. Then we should go with kill all the players. I revel in their dark ends. More pain is better time.
Oh, you fucked up the last one because that was.
Yes, I did.
Well, see,
well,
one of us has experience with haikus,
See,
the other one
is
does not. So,
well, you know.
I was
What? If
tempted
this
to look
was
up
a
my
sending message,
I'm
then
better at that too.
you're right. You have a lot more practice.
I got all kinds of practice on it. Now y'all don't get to read my one I have prepared for it. So,
All right. Well,
read your poem. I like haikus. I just have the time to make them up during Wednesdays. Oh, not reading that one. Question for both. What is a homebrew rule you'd like to play within a game that you aren't now and haven't ever used before? Ooh, I got one. I like this one.
I would love to try out some grittier rules. Ones that there is one that kind of modifies so that there's really no long rests or short rests or long rests, and there's really no such thing as a long rest. It just takes days. Just because I kind of like that idea of it taking you, like if you exhaust all your magic, it takes you days to recover. I like that. I don't know that we would ever use it in a game because my players aren't really interested in that kind of play.
Mechanically, it would be a bitch.
It would be a bitch. But it would make certain characters like Monk and Druid and Warlock who get their shit back on short rest like very useful.
But it would make like every other class really terrible. You have to check your door, Eric. I will entertain the group. Hello, everyone. It is I, Jace, the host. Eric can still hear us because he's just within like 10 feet of his computer chair, but you have me. If you haven't noticed, the special for the day is mostly legal contraband. I don't know if that's fruit or like drugs, but that's the special today. It's buy one, get one for twice the price. So buy 2 for the price of 2. My homebrew rule that I would like to play with, which I'll probably wind up doing in one of the campaigns I run, is maximize potions, and get rid of our homebrew bonus action rule. Right now for my group, we do a regular healing potion as a bonus action to use. You just have to roll for it. But what I'm thinking is make all potions automatically heal the maximum they would heal, so there's no rolling involved. That way they're just an action.
Yeah, I mean,
that
you
way
know
you
me.
don't have to worry
I'm
about,
an asshole.
Like, hey, rolling a really shitty number for your action would suck. But knowing this pre-measured potion will heal you this amount would work for me.
Yeah, I think that's why potions are now like D4s now, so that way like you have a higher minimum. But I mean, you know me, like I'm kind of an asshole because if I really wanted to be like a rules lawyer and play as Raw, I'd be like, look guys, everything you own, it needs to be on your character sheet and you have to state where it is. And then Like if you have a potion or something, you've got to take time to pull it out of your bag and then to do it. Um, so like there's definitely ways that if you wanted to play a grittier game, you could just like
Just implement
enforce
all the rules that you
Yeah.
normally don't, and then that kind of takes care of it.
Yeah, like that's another thing that like a lot of people don't necessarily understand. I don't know any group that plays with stealth and hiding rules as written. Even we don't.
We play kind of close, but that's mostly because in this game we don't have the experienced people that are requiring that, and to slow it down more would just be a pain in the butt. But
Yeah, because like a lot of people, like if you actually follow the rules for stealth and hiding, it would be very hard for a rogue to get a sneak attack that way.
yeah,
So.
they like the potion idea. On to another question.
Mm-hmm. That is what this
Yes.
show is about. Is
Question for
answering
Jace: how you make your beard so pointy? This is
That
just
can't be a real question. Oh, it's yeah. It actually is a real
this
question.
is genetics. It just grows like this. Eric, how come you can't grow a beard?
Genetics.
There we go. These beards are brought to you by genetics.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I would say it's my part Native American heritage way back when, but that's not true. Native Americans grow beards too, So
You just lied to yourself. Like,
Yeah.
Just a sad boy.
yeah. Well, one of the main reasons why people have that perception is because of how Native Americans were traditionally portrayed in movies. Except none of those people were Native Americans; they were mostly Italians. I guess Italians have a thing about keeping their face shaved or something.
I had a thought of like a guy dressed as a Native American riding on a horse, do like the Italian.
Hey,
Spaghetti.
Yeah, hey, how are you? How are you?
Hey, what's the matter, you?
Yeah.
On to a final question, live question. What is the farthest you would allow someone's reaction to an action that you do? Say you do something like, I hit this person for this much damage, and you take this much, they go down, they're bleeding out, and they're in a really bad situation. And how long would you allow someone to wait, I got this, that could help them?
Well, what do you mean? Like, how much time would I allow people to make decisions to use their reactions?
Yeah. Not like, as soon as you do that, and you knock them down, they think, wait, I think I got something, and then they look for it.
Yeah, so generally speaking, and we follow the same rule in board games. If it's the kind of thing that doesn't really impact decisions made on future turns, it's not really that big a deal. So, like, if someone went down and you knew that you had, like, you were a grave cleric or something and could nullify a hit on a reaction, and maybe, at a certain point, if you guys are level 20 and you guys have been playing that character for 2 years, I expect you to know that. But if it's like a newer character or something, then it might, and the person that goes after them is just like, I'm going to chug a potion, and then someone's like, oh, wait, I could have nullified half that damage. It's like, okay, well, whether that person nullified half the damage or not doesn't affect the guy whose turn it is, so we can go ahead and just say that. But if we get to the point where it's like this one goes and does all this stuff, and it's like, oh, I could have done this, oh man, then I would have done my turn completely different. And it's like, well, I mean, sorry, dude, I guess you should have been a little farther on the nose, kind of thought through it. It's okay as players to say, hey, can we take a quick second to make sure to see if anyone's got anything for this before moving on? It's like, that's fine.
What if you counterspelled something and another player counterspells you, but it's like 2 minutes later, so they weren't paying attention?
If they're not paying attention, then fuck you.
Take that, Danny. Pay the fuck attention.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, because it's one thing if you guys are in the heat of battle and like you're trying to prep for your turn, that happens. And you're like, wait, what's going on? It's like, oh my god, I was just trying to plan this incredibly complicated move. But if you're just shooting the shit with someone else or having a completely separate conversation, it's like, no, seriously, like if I'm sitting there going, dude, it's your turn, and you're over here carrying on a conversation, and be like, all right, your turn is you take the dodge action.
Especially
Who's
if
next?
it's the second time he's done it.
Wow.
I was very forgiving both times.
Yeah.
But I warned him, like, let's do it again. No.
Yeah, because like on that instance, like if I was in that predicament where I cast the spell and then I decided not to use my movement action because I'm good, and then if someone else is like, oh, I could have counterspelled that, and it's like, okay, well, if you would have counterspelled that and been successful, then I had 2 other things I would have done on that dude's turn, and you should have been paying attention.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that because getting it out.
You just wanted an opportunity to
anytime
rant
I get
about
the
your own
chance
game.
to bitch about delayed counterspelling, I have no problem with counterspell. I have a problem with delayed counterspelling because you fucking weren't paying attention. I was looking for what I could do. It's like, well, your counterspell is a reaction. That's only one thing you can do with your reaction. That's about it.
I mean, and like I said, that's a situation where like your guys' campaign has been going on a long time. He's played that character for pretty much the entire campaign, as far as I'm aware. He should understand whether or not he has counterspell, and when that would be have efficacy.
On to our fun list, because of the last question really the only question that I asked. Everything else was asked by the chat. Thank you, Rab, for your contribution. Most of those were from him. Thank you. We are going to go over between one DM to another, one well-bearded individual to one not as well-bearded individual.
Hey.
To our favorite spells. Now, they're not necessarily the best spells, the most battle-damaging ones, but they're our favorite ones. From cantrips to level 9, we'll go through each one of them. Maybe give a reason why. If you pick some dumb one, I'm gonna tell you that's stupid.
Okay.
So.
And you're saying, so we're going 1 through 9 and basically just saying
0
which ones
through
are
9. Cantrips.
0 through 9.
Cantrips through 9.
Okay.
What's your favorite cantrip, Eric?
Probably Chill Touch. I mean, don't get me wrong. I fucking hate it when my players take it. But I definitely understand the utility of it, and it's very powerful to have, especially if you could just kind of like straight up nullify regeneration.
That's a good one. That's a nice spell to have. I picked Guidance. Because, man, when you got the time for it, a D4 when some idiot's going to come in there and try to attempt to do something, it's always good. It's like, hey, we're deciphering this thing. Have a little guidance. A little bit of edge. That bard has inspired you. You've got, like, enhance ability on you. Guidance, always a little bit. That 1d4 could come in handy. That's why we cast Bless.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because a lot of people don't remember. I don't even think Kilma really remembers that Calum has the Bless spell.
He does. He just doesn't always
use it.
It's because it's concentration. It's what am I going to concentrate on?
Yeah, I guess that's true. He's a wizard. He's got a lot more options for concentration.
A high level wizard too. So Bless is a neat one. On to level 1. You want me to go first, or you go first?
No, I can go first. Cause Fear.
It's a pretty good one.
It is a really nice one, especially early on in the game. And I have had several times where that has been really clutch with removing or shutting down players in the game. It's very nice when like you're going up against a big baddie and there's a fear effect goes out and 2 out of the 5 players are afraid, and all of a sudden whoever is playing tank is looking around going, shit. Yeah, this just went from bad to worse.
I want to call out the chat. They mentioned Vicious Mockery as their favorite cantrip. I do love Vicious Mockery because it's the only spell that allows you to insult someone.
Yeah.
Whenever you want, and it's part of the game mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
My level 1 spell. I do like Cause Fear. I think as a spell, though, it's not as good but the fear spell put on other things is really good, like the Wand of Fear, one of my favorite underrated magic items. My favorite first level spell, though, Find Familiar.
Yeah.
Because having that little buddy, it comes in handy.
Yeah.
So much.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
very
when you
useful
cast
spell.
spells through them. You can technically have them give you the help action. All kinds of stuff here.
Yeah, and you can kind of see through them, so they make really good scouts.
Yep. You can name them, or your party can name them. Splish. Whoosh. Whatever the hell the name was for.
Windy. And it's splish, not sploosh.
Well, splish, splash. Taking a bath. Chat, they also like Find Familiar. It's a neat one. There's some other good first level spells. I like Cossphere. I think first level's kind of meh. Was their first level? You don't get a lot of mileage.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the truth is, though, at the level in which you gain access to first level spells, so like level 1, you get a lot of utility out of your first level spell.
But you also got to pick the right spell, because at lower levels you don't have that many first level ones.
True.
You really rely on them, so you got to get a lot of mileage out of them. That's why I think Cossphere is cool. It targets one target, though. Find Familiar is a ritual, so you can ritual cast it.
That is true, and I think that's why, like, Caleb's like a big fan of sleep. You know, especially when you're in the lower levels and stuff has really low hit points. It really helps out.
Next level, level 2. That's where things start getting
Darkness.
Good. Darkness?
Yeah. I mean, it's excellent from a standpoint, especially because you know me, if I got darkness spells getting thrown out there, that's you can expect there's going to be some like imps or something in there with Devil's Sight that can see through that darkness, or it's really excellent for like casters who need to get away, or you know, like they can retreat a little bit and then throw like an AoE spell in the middle. And since everyone's, you know, blinded, like you can't counterspell, or you know, at the very least, just makes it really hard for players to attack things.
Darkness is good. But once players that like to utilize darkness as an offensive weapon, usually they spec out properly for it. That's where it's really effective. Yeah. So, and then monsters, God, they suck, because anyone that can cast it usually can see through the fucking thing.
Yeah.
My favorite second level spell, Invisibility.
Okay. Excellent choice.
Lasts for an hour. Can't be seen. Really good way of help non-fucking over the plate mail individual.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, but when it comes to that, yeah, it just kind of, I don't know. Obviously, greater invisibility is like greater.
Greater invisibility is better, I think, for combat. It's what it's designed for.
Yeah.
Invisibility is perfect for out of combat as well as getting into combat initially.
Yeah.
The chat goes Augury. Honestly, I had never had any use for Augury, and I had it. I think I used it one time. I'm like, this does nothing.
Yay, Taterhosen.
Taterhosen with the prime sub. Ooh. Big ups for Tates. All right. No arguments.
Level 3.
Level 3.
Yeah, level 3. I don't know. You get a lot of good options here. We have Fireball is always one that's really, really fun. Fly is fun, though I hate it whenever my players take it. You also got Haste, I think, is that level 2.
Oh, Haste is 3.
Yeah, it's hard. Is that also when you get Fireball? Or not Fireball, Counterspell.
Counterspell is also level 3.
Yeah, so many good spells.
Chat has a good point with their selection.
I would have to say that's a 50-50 mix between Fireball and Revivify.
Pretty good. I mean, it is hard to choose anything out of the third level, because that's probably the most stacked level you can have. Yeah, the chat says Tiny Hut. I mean, Tiny Hut has single-handedly saved so many asses. It's your first home. There's Speak with Plants in the chat. Mine is Haste, though. I love Haste. It is. I feel like
especially with your current character.
Yeah, I feel it's the best buff spell. You can cast it on yourself. You can cast it on a buddy. You can upcast it. You can cast it on a couple buddies. You can use it for just getting from point A to point B. Just utility. There's more utility in haste than what most people typically use it for. But
yeah, even if because I mean, you get the extra movement speed, and then you also can get a hasted attack, which especially at lower levels, an extra attack is huge.
That's more damage. You don't get that kind of damage. That's how you jack up some numbers. It really just essentially pushes you. For fighters, it's like being another 4 or 5 levels higher. And then for other marshals that only get 2 attacks, then you're basically getting something that the game was not meant for you to have.
Yep.
So, I mean, but there's like counterspell is amazing, Revivify is amazing, Fireball is notorious, Lightning Bolt, I think it could be better, but those are all great spells. So I like slow, but it's not better than haste in my point. Go fast, not slow.
Yeah.
On to level
fast lane.
Level 4. I got one that I'm very proud of because I really like it. I've never cast it though.
I'm a huge fan of Blight.
Pretty good.
Does a shit ton of damage, and it's and just the optics of the spell to like rapidly reduce, like to desiccate and mummify something. Like the optics of that are just kind of pretty amazing.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Especially like there's like instantly like double damage is plant life or something.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I guess at 4th you also get greater invisibility.
I think greater invisibility is 5th, but I'm not too positive on that. The 4th also has a lot of really good ones, but mine I picked Find Greater Steed.
Well, yeah, okay. With the amount of times that like you guys get mounts and then lose them.
Really go for a mount that's always gonna come back when I need it.
Yeah. So what was that? It was like Omlik in last campaign. He had one. Virgil.
He left that damn horse everywhere.
Everywhere. And you know what? It was fine because he just cast it again, and like Virgil pop up and like, "Hey, Virgil!" Like, "Hey, man."
My best part about that is that he would always forget where he left. It's like, no, you left that in like 3 towns over. We teleported. It's like, oh shit! All right, I'll cast it again.
No, dude, you left him at the bottom of that ravine next to the magic portal. Remember? He's like, oh shit. Yeah, well, that's around here, isn't it? I go, yeah, like a half-day walk. Fuck, that's too long.
Teleport.
I'll just summon him again.
Fast travel that sucker over here. I like Find Greater
Steed.
He's
just like, he's immortal.
Because you get like the Pegasus and all kinds of like higher ones. That's where your mount can now have a flying speed. Like, it's way more effective. The problem is, only like one class gets that spell.
I think it's the Paladin.
Only Paladin gets that spell. So they don't get that shit till level 17.
Yeah.
It sucks. That's why if you're playing I want to play a Bard and just pick spells. I love the magical secrets to pick spells that aren't in there because the Bard with spells that aren't meant to be for Bard spells are great. Like Swift Quiver, Find Greater Steed. Just be mounted on a Pegasus with a bow firing 5 times or something. Revised Ranger. Yeah, Revised Ranger probably should have gotten it. But we have also Fire Shield in the chat. That's a 4th level spell.
Well, is the Revised Ranger even on D&D Beyond?
No.
I don't think so.
That thing came out before
D&D Beyond came out. Like, they have got to fix that for 5.5, right? Like, they've got to.
Fix the Ranger.
Yeah, it's like, if 5.5 does nothing else, they need to fix the Ranger.
Not everything's about combat. Yeah, but when part of See, Dungeons and Dragons is two things. Dungeons, exploring, role-playing, and dragons, combat. Half of your thing is combat. So, you should be good at that at least.
Well, yeah, some people will say that Dungeons and Dragons isn't Dungeons and Dragons unless you're in combat. I say there's 3 pillars for a reason, obviously.
And the Ranger is only good at one of them, and it's exploration.
You're right. You are right.
Level 5!
Yeah, level 5. Weird choice.
I have weird choice too.
But animate object.
That's a good choice, though.
Yes, I just think that's a fun spell.
I haven't got a chance to cast it yet. I plan on having a character that can cast it, though. It's so good. Good way to piss off a DM, too. Because there's a lot of versatility in that spell. Just
yeah.
People don't. They see it as a combat tool, for the most part. Mine is another spell I haven't cast before. Tree Stride.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was also thinking, like, Awaken is a really interesting spell.
Yeah.
Just the ability to just all of a sudden summon, like, treants.
You have a tree buddy.
Yeah.
Pretty handy. But like Tree Stride, I think is neat. This is a teleportation for as many people as you can fit through a fucking tree. Another spell I think would be really good on a bard. It's because they can steal it.
That's true.
In the chat, they got Synaptic Static, the Psychic Fireball.
Well,
it's okay. It's just
why not just take Fireball?
2 levels lower.
I mean, I guess
it does a few
psychic
other
damage
things, but
is
5th level has so. You think 3rd level, it just gets more stacked the higher the level you go, and that's not even counting the upcasting ability of the lower spells.
Yeah.
So, like upcasting haste and shit. That's great. 90% of fires resist monsters. 90% of monsters resist fire.
That's not true.
But how many humanoids do?
Yeah, it's not 90%, but it is a lot.
It is a lot.
It is a lot. An unfortunate number.
On to level 6. Wasn't much to say for 5. I have one of my favorites. Well, it is my favorite.
It's level 6?
Yeah.
Oh, it has to be either Circle of Death, because I do like to use that spell anytime I see it in the repertoire, or Disintegrate.
Both good.
Because Disintegrate is also at that level.
Both good spells. It's like, hey, you hit 0, goodbye.
Yeah.
Circle of Death is neat, but I feel like it's not as good as it could be. Like, for that high level spell, I know it hits a giant area, but it's good at killing a lot of little stuff. But if you use it like against a party, like, it's not really that great in comparison for how high a level spell it is.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And so, I guess whether you pick like Disintegrate or Circle of Death would really great. Does a fuck ton of damage.
Yeah. Problem with Disintegrate also is that if they pass the save, it does nothing.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's one that's kind of pass or fail, all or nothing. Yeah. But I mean, but if you hit, like, you can kill a lot. It's like
suck to hit a wizard with it.
Like, yeah, it's like 10d6 plus 40 or something like that.
So that really high base. I'm all about that base. My level 6, Contingency, the spell that is other spells.
Oh yeah.
Mostly because I'm paranoid.
I forgot that was a spell.
It's a great spell. Okay, whenever
you used that last campaign, didn't you?
No. I had a lot of spells that were similar to it. I played the character as if they could see, but I had a spell called Any Spell, or Kelder's Minute Miracle.
Oh yeah, okay. So you had something like Contingency.
But Contingency is just better because it's just an active, just in if this then that.
Yeah.
We also have in the chat, they chose Heal. Heal's a good one. Free 70 hit points. Also gets rid of like any debuff that's on somebody, so if someone's been completely wrecked, you can really turn the tide on that individual.
Yeah, I think heal's one of the few spells that actually allows you to reattach severed limbs and stuff too. So,
on to level 7.
Magnificent Mansion, obviously.
That is my level 7 as well.
Yeah. Duh.
If Tiny Hut is Tiny Hut's your
sure.
first home. Magnificent Mansion is your last home.
Right. It's your forever home. And I mean, sure, I guess 7 also has like teleport. But I mean,
fuck that.
Yeah. Mansion.
Home is where you make it. Literally with that spell.
You like to see homos naked?
No, I say home is where you make it.
Yeah, oh, hey, you like it. Yeah, I get it.
Chat coming in here with Finger of Death. Again, I have a similar issue with it like Circle of Death. Circle of Death is a very large area that does a lot of damage, but at the level that you are where you're casting it, it's really going to good if they're really low level or low in HP. So you want to save that 7th level slot or in case they get that low. By then you're like, fuck, what if they pass? And then you just waste
and don't underestimate the value of a place that you can retreat to that is 100% safe.
Yep. Just with the doors invisible. Oh, she's like, I know a wizard that flipped off someone with the Finger of Death for the kill, though. I was like, true. But Magnus is all about the flare, not so much of, actually, he's about all of it. He's about the flare.
Yeah,
and
he's like Scanlan Shorthalt, Dick Thunder.
Yeah, he's the Dick Wizard for a reason.
Yeah.
It's one of the higher damaging spells, that's for sure. But on the way, you can just upcasting is almost similar.
Yeah, I know. Like in 3.5, though, you had Death Knell that came in, which was basically target makes a save. If it has less than 100 hit points, it dies.
Which we have Power Word Kill now, but that's been bumped up to level 9, which we'll get to the level 9 eventually. But
yeah.
There's like Power Word, Divine Word is another one that has the ability to instantly kill something if they don't save, but they have to be at like a certain number of hit points low.
Yeah, I think it's like under 40 or 50, something like that.
It's gotta be pretty low. On to the next level, level 8.
Level 8, Feeble Mind.
Man, it's a good spell.
It is.
I do love a good Feeble Mind.
And I have only ever had that successfully go off once. It was last campaign, I think. I don't remember if I hit with it.
I have attempted it 3 times. I got it hit once. You attempted it twice, I think, last campaign.
Yeah, well,
both of them on me.
Yeah, and I landed once, didn't I?
No, you didn't land them. I got one where I saved by 1 point. But you tried it both on me, you jerk.
Oh, yeah, I think I hit you because I think it was one where you rolled and then I guess you added it wrong or something, or maybe we forgot to add something. Maybe it was like a bless and you forgot to add the D4 or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
I think it probably was one of those delayed reactions. But I certainly didn't try to counterspell it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
In the chat, Artemis got it 3 times. So that means I would have cast it 4 times because I technically hit Lyle's character Anchor with it. But he's a paladin, so he didn't really need his spells. But he was a robot. He's already kind of dumb. But I love Feeble Mind because it's really great. But my 8th level spell is another one of my favorite ones. Dominate Monster.
Okay, yep. That's a good one.
Because I like the ability to just take the monster and use it against whoever I want. And I don't have to worry about the semantics of, oh, is he humanoid? Is he a devil? Is he fae? It's like, no, you're just mine now. Just become part of your team. Especially I like using it on the party. Not only if it's a high-level spell, means the counterspell won't automatically counter it, but it'll just take control of them no matter what.
Yeah.
And then you use them to kill the party. The best spell. We've got a Ray of Enfeeblement coming in late from the chat. That's a level 1 spell, I think, though. But it's a good spell. Artemis got a good use out of it this last session. Especially if you know they only use strength-based attacks. Really, having all of their damage is really effective. I wouldn't put it up there as favorite spell. And 8th level, they said anti-magic field and maze.
Is Innervate a spell?
Innervate is.
Yeah, what does it do in this edition?
I don't know.
Because I know, like,
can't look it up.
Because that was a crazy spell back in 3.5, and I think I recall saying when it okay. Apparently, I do not know how to spell innervate. Oh.
Chat says innervation's pretty nice for healing yourself and dealing damage.
Is it innervation?
Yeah, I think it pulls life from a creature and heals yourself, and it's concentration.
Yeah, well, because what innervate used to do...
It used to drop their level.
Yeah, innervation. So that's 5th level, does necrotic damage. Because, like, back in 3.5, yeah, you would drop your level, or, like, you take negative levels, and if you're, that negative ever hit 0, you died. And so, like, when I read it in 5th edition, I was like, huh, that's stupid. It totally sounds like you should have just, like, if you fail, take points of exhaustion or something. It's like, and so I was a little upset that they changed the nature of the spell.
There's a spell that does something like that, doesn't it? Something of sickness.
A Ray of Sickness?
No, Nock used it. He made that area of just radiation energy. What was it?
Like Ray. So
it's not Ray of Sickness. I know that it's on Nock's
that
spell.
maybe negative energy flood.
No. Ari in the chat, what did Nock use to make that area of just not wanting to be there anymore, other than it being Hunger of Hadar? Because it wasn't that. I don't know what it is. But on to level 9 spells, Eric.
Oh, Mass Polymorph.
It's a good spell.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Let's go Dave Phantom Zone.
Sickening Radiance.
That one. Sickening Radiance. That one gives
Sickening Radiance is the only spell that can give exhaustion on a creature.
Yeah. Mass Polymorph. How many creatures? Was that 9 creatures?
It's up to 10.
Up to 10?
Yeah, Sickening Radiance, 4th level spell.
My level 9 spell is Invulnerability.
Good choice.
I like not having to worry about damage. It's a concentration spell.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I would agree. Meteor is awesome. It does an awful lot of damage. Look, here's the truth. When you get up to 9th level spell, basically everything is good.
There's no bad choice.
I would probably say the weakest choice is probably Time Stop.
Yeah, Time Stop probably.
Because you could mostly only use it for movement and messing with objects. You can't use it to attack, which seems really kind of stupid, arbitrary to me.
You can duplicate Time Stop and have a contingency with it. It's like, cast contingency, cast a spell, and say, if time stops, this spell activates. And that's a way of casting spells during time stop. And you can have, I think, more than one contingency up at a time. So then you can just fuck over one really bad situation. That's one way of using it. But, well, Eric, it's after 9. We got into spells. We were talking about things. We found out that beards are genetic and that basketball has an orange ball. But if you could, roll me a D percentile, if you would.
D percentile?
Tanner already put it in his bits.
68.
Aw, man, that's one off the good number.
Well, no. It's like 46 off.
68. You are frightened by the nearest creature until the end of your next turn.
But I am the nearest creature.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. Football. Alright, doesn't play football.
What, you say Ari never played football?
No, I said he doesn't play football. I believe he did. So.
Pretty sure he like severely injured himself, has a scar because of it, but okay.
Was that football or was that like ultimate frisbee or something? I just know it was Beava's fault.
Well, anyway, thank you all for coming. I really have to go. I hope you liked watching this really crappy show. So please like, follow, subscribe is what I'm supposed to say. And as always, see you next Tuesday. Except for Ari. He won't be there. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Walking hand in hand on the ocean floor, down deep we wander. Louder we sing, no there is no cure.